we've already seen how fast it is to use the vertex form and basically plot out your smiley face or your sad face, and that's exactly what I'm going to do in this video. So I have two equations in their standard form, and I'm going to be using these equations to plot out my smiley face or my sad face. So let's take the first equation, which is 2x squared minus 6x plus 8. Now, the first thing we do is we know we got to put this equal to y, and then we just need to convert this to the vertex form. So this x squared has a coefficient of 2. Let's take care of that. We're going to take that out common. So that's going to be 2 out common, x squared minus 3x plus 4. Right, just taking the 2 out common. And now what we got to do is we just got to divide this 3 by 2. We're going to half this middle term, so that's going to be 3 divided by 2 is 1.5, okay? Or it's 3 by 2. So we are going to have x squared minus 3x, leave some space in the middle, plus 4. Add that 1.5, square it, and then minus that 1.5, square it. And then we are going to have put two brackets over here, put a square on top of that. Solve out these two terms, put them in here. So I'm just going to do that for you guys. So negative 1.5, hold on. Negative 1.5 squared plus 4, so that is 1.75. And over here, we are going to have this x, that sign, and this term 1.5. Now we're just going to multiply this 2 inside the bracket over here and over here. So this is going to be y is equal to 2x minus 1.5 squared. This was positive. It's positive 1.75. So this is going to be multiply this thing by 2, and this is going to be positive 3.5. Okay, now we know what our vertex is. This thing right here is going to be the y value of our vertex, 3.5. This is going to be the y value of our vertex. And if you don't know the reason behind why this is the y value of the vertex, we need to go and watch the previous video. And then this thing right over here, the exact opposite of this is going to be the x value of our vertex, and the exact opposite of this is going to be, well, it's negative 1.5, so it's just going to be positive 1.5. Okay, so I'm going to draw my axes, the x and y over here. Now, let's say I have 3.5. Let's say I have 3.5 somewhere up here. Let's say this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, that is 4. And let's say 3.5 is somewhere in the middle, right over there. That right there is 3.5. And let's say we have 1, we have 2, and then 1.5 is right in the middle. So we're going to have our vertex right over there. And then let's check out what our y-intercept is going to be. Now we know that that right there is a y. Now we know that y-intercept is the point, or is the place where the x coordinate is equal to 0. So we can have our equation, and all we got to do is we got to put the x equal to 0, and we just got to solve all of this out, and we're going to get the value for y. But I'll tell you what's easier. If you want to find the y-intercept, using the vertex form is going to be a bit more, you can say, calculatory, whereas if you go over there to the standard form, it's really simple. All you got to do is you got to put the x values equal to 0, so this thing right over here is going to be 0, because 0 squared is going to be 0, multiply it 2 by 0, that's going to be 0, and then 6 multiplied by 0 is going to be 0 as well, so my y value is just going to be 8. Now let's say 8 is somewhere up there on my graph, that right there is 8, so I put a dot over there. So my sketch is basically going to look something like, and I know it's a smiley face, of course. How do I know that? Well, because if you look at my a is a positive value. If you come over here, look at the a, it's positive. If you go down there, look at the a, it's positive. So I know it's a smiley face, and it's going to look something like this. So this right here is my vertex, the lowest point of my smiley face. And I'm going to extend it up to that intercept, and it's going to cross the y-axis at the intercept, and then just try and draw the same thing as perfectly as you can on the right-hand side, there, right there. So that's somewhat what my curve looks like. So my quadratic equation, 2x squared minus 6x plus 8, that looks like this on the graph. So solving the next equation, and we're going to put this equal to y, so this is going to be negative x squared plus 2x plus 3. I don't like that negative. We know it's not a 1. We can sort of write this as negative 1. That's not a positive 1, it's a negative 1. So we know that we want a 1 over here. We don't really have that 1, so how do we do that? Well, we can kind of take this negative out common. So if we take this negative out common, it's just going to be x squared, negative 2x, negative 3. Right? All of the signs are going to change because we just took a negative common. And then again, we're trying to turn this into our vertex form. So divide this number by 2. 2 divided by 2 is basically 1. And then in the next part, we just write x squared minus 2x, leave some space in between, write the minus 3 over here, add that 1, and square it, subtract it, and square it. And then in the next step, we're just going to have our two brackets like this, have a square on top, solve out these two terms. So 1 squared is going to be 1. Multiply that by a negative sign, it's going to be negative 1. And negative 1, negative 3 is just going to be negative 4. and then drag that x down here, drag that negative sign down here, drag that 1 down here, and then multiply this one with this thing and with that thing. So you're basically going to get y is equal to -1 x minus 1 squared and positive 4. And now we can go ahead and plot our graph. So that right there is going to be our y-axis and our x-axis. So what's going to be the vertex? But before that, what's going to be the face? Is it going to be a smiley face or a sad face? Well, you can see it's the a over here is negative. It's -1. So we are going to have a sad face. Negativity leads to sad face. And then what is going to be the vertex? So this is going to be, this right here is going to be the y-coordinate of the vertex. That is 4. And the opposite of this is going to be the x-coordinate of our vertex. So it's going to be 1. Right? The opposite of -1 is going to be positive 1. So this is our vertex, which is going to be situated right over here at the top of the sad face. And then what is our y-intercept? Well, if I just go over here to my equation, then all I need to do is I need to find my y-intercept. So I just put my x terms equal to 0. This entire thing is going to be 0. This entire thing is going to be 0, and my y-intercept is basically +3. So I'm going to start drawing this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And so our vertex, we're just going to drop our vertex. Our vertex is 1, 4. So it's going to be right over here, 1, 4. And then our y-intercept is actually +3. So it's right over here. That right there is +3. Now we just got to join these points out. So this is going to be something like this, and you can kind of make it the same on the other side, and so it's going to look something like this. That right there is a rough sketch of our quadratic equation. So this quadratic equation, -x squared plus 2x plus 3, that thing basically looks like such.